in the nursery. So you can see it's a little bit of a mess. We started getting like packages in like crazy from our registry. I'm feeling so grateful and overwhelmed in a good way. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mess in the background, but nonetheless, we are here. I'm very excited to talk to you guys about why you shouldn't join a mastermind. Oh, hey, LJ. So excited to have all you guys here. So I will be diving into the podcast in just a second. I'm going to hit record and do my general podcast thing. So just to like preface what you're attending right now, like I am live recording the She's Busy AF podcast. I'm giving you guys the opportunity to tune in while I record it, which I've never done before. Very excited about this. I hope you like it. And I do plan on doing this like once every 4 to 6 weeks when I've got a really juicy topic, and I'm going to let y'all decide the topic because the point is that you're sitting here and you're going to ask questions too. So again, if I sound really out of breath, it's because I'm sick and I am pregnant and sick. So interesting turn of events there. What else was I going to say? Again, questions at the end, here to answer all of them. So yeah, I'm excited. And now that it's 3:31, I'm going to hit record. Here we go. So excited. Now, so if I LaCroix, let me take a sip of that. This week's flavor is orange. I get a new flavor every week because otherwise you get bored of these things, right? And since I can't drink right now, LaCroix it is. It makes me feel very close to alcohol sometimes. So, okay, here we go. Gonna hit record. Make sure, I always do a test. Hold on. Testing, 1, 2, 3. My podcast manager would be so proud. Okay, we're good. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of She's Busy AF. This is going to be episode 26. How am I 26 episodes in? I remember when I launched this podcast in February, March, can't even keep up anymore. I had a goal to keep up with it every single week, and I did, somehow. Even like with going out of town, even with like being pregnant, and by the way, first trimester is a bitch. So the fact that I was able to continue through that, I am proud of myself. I'm gonna say that. Toots to me. Toots. What am I saying? Oh my god. Okay. Good times. Anyways, here we are. Today's topic is why you shouldn't buy into a mastermind. Why you shouldn't join a mastermind. I know this is a little bit of a spicy take on things in a world right now. Toots. In a world right now where masterminds seem to be popping up everywhere. I'm going to dive in on this. Masterminds, I don't know about y'all, but I've known about them for a while. Actually, since the Amanda Bucci days, and for any of you who used to tune into Amanda Bucci's YouTube videos, like that's how I learned macros, guys. So I learned to track my macros and about dieting and all of that fun stuff. But she left her fitness business and dove into like an entrepreneurial space of helping people, and she joined masterminds. And I remember being like, that is so woo-woo. And let me just say, that's not the topic today. The topic today is not why masterminds are woo-woo, and that's why you shouldn't join them. I don't agree with that. I want to preface this with, I'm challenged to record this podcast because I know in my heart there are good masterminds out there for the right people. Okay, I'm not bashing anyone who may be tuning into this who has a mastermind, hosts a mastermind, is in a mastermind. This is not to make you feel bad about what you do or that you're doing the wrong thing. This is my hot take on this. And I've been in a mastermind and I almost hosted one, and I'm going to talk about both of those. I'm mainly wanting to do this topic because I'm just not thrilled with how I've seen the online space monopolize masterminds over the last year or so. And another thing I want to say is I'm challenged to not justify why I feel this way either. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you should join a mastermind or not join a mastermind, or here's the good things about masterminds, and here to talk about why you shouldn't join one. And that's what's important to me. It's my opinion, and I'm advising my audience. It's up to you to do the research and ultimately make the decision that's going to be the best fit for you and your business. So Again, I am live recording this podcast on Instagram too, for those of you tuning in on She's Busy AF, either whether you're listening on my website or Spotify or iTunes. So I have to remind the people who are tuning in live here, like, I'm looking at you here, but then I also am video recording here. So I'm between two cameras. Bear with me. Eye contact's important. I understand that. Okay, so real quick, I want to talk about how, yes, I tried to launch a mastermind. And I'm really glad it didn't work out. In fact, it was one of the first things I launched in my business. I started my business officially last September, and in, I think it was October, or for Black Friday, I launched, it was called the Personalized AF Strategy Session. And for those of you guys here who bought into one of those, we go way back. After that, I decided I wanted to launch a mastermind. Why did I want to launch a mastermind? I wanted to small group coach people in a way where it was very collaborative. Sorry guys, again, I am not feeling great. At the end of the day, my audience wasn't there yet, and neither was I. I wasn't ready to launch a mastermind and host one, so I'm really glad it didn't work out. I'm really glad I had no signups. I'm like being very transparent and okay with that. And I'm also just like, I wasn't in the right space to teach it, and my audience was not in the right space to learn from me. I had a lot of growing to do as a mentor. So I needed to spend more time, in my opinion, cultivating a strong group of mastermind-worthy individuals is how I'm going to put that. I did go into a mastermind though. So while I was launching a mastermind, I was in one, and I did find things valuable out of it. I like to say I'm a different kind of individual, not to say like I'm better than anybody. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is I'm a different kind of individual. I have years and years of business experience. I wanted to be in a collaborative space where more people were at that next level too, and looking to push to the next level. The one-on-one support is what I found the most valuable in a mastermind, and that is not the point of a mastermind. So I'm not saying that mastermind wasn't great. It was amazing. It did a lot for me, but it wasn't a traditional mastermind. And I felt like I needed more. I felt like I needed more one-on-one support. So, you know, that's my hot take on, at least, you know, the fact that I launched one or tried to launch one, and the fact that I was in one. Now I want to talk about why you shouldn't join one. Okay. So I have bullet points because I want to make sure I touch on everything. And I have 4 points. So 4 points here. This really shouldn't take long. If you guys have not listened to my podcast before, it's typically under 15 to 20 minutes. So you won't be here long. Don't worry. Okay. So the first one is going to be the reason why you shouldn't join a mastermind is because you still have a lot to learn about business in general and your own. We are always constantly learning, evolving, growing, and busy. A lot of us are very busy. Aw, thanks. A lot of us are very busy. And I'm leading with this because I do think there's a time and place for joining one, like when I joined one. But most of my audience, a lot of you here today, are not in this place. You have to be in a space where you are open and willing to gather new information and know what to do with it. When you're in a mastermind, you have to know what to do with that information and not be confused by it. That is kind of a good indicator of if you'd be a good fit for a mastermind. And this is with my experience, and this is my opinion. Just have to throw that out there. If you still consider yourself an early stage entrepreneur, that doesn't mean you've been in business for 1 year, 2 year, 3. I mean, it just depends on where you're at in your business, how long it's been your full time, how long it's been your side hustle, how much experience you have, how confident you are. You could still be early stage. If you're still considering yourself early stage and you're not hitting your goals in your business, or you feel like you have some things to work through, if you are not necessarily happy with your business progress as of right now, and what I'm getting at here is masterminds are great for plateaus, when you're at a plateau, not when you're doing well and thriving, and not when you're not doing well and thriving. A mastermind's not the right next step for you if you're not at that place. Okay. Number 2, most masterminds are improperly formatted. This is a big reason why I think you shouldn't join one. Because I want to say like 90% of them, the ones you see in the online space right now, they are not properly formatted. Most of them are not actually true masterminds. They are more of like course or masterclass style. Masterminds should be very much a group effort, group focus, collaborative, led by experienced coaches or professionals. Not a place where you show up and get talked to. So my point with that too is that another thing I want to say about that is there's not only one way to achieve a result. And in those style masterminds and those masterminds where people are teaching at you and they're telling you their techniques and the way they did things and saying this is how you should do it too, there's not only one way to skin a cat. Okay, graphically putting it. Most masterminds teach a certain way, and it's very my way or the highway, and then it's formatted like a course or a masterclass, and for that reason I don't think it works in the true style of a mastermind. A mastermind should be very collaborative, which is my next point. You need to be very certain in the type of person you need to be a certain type of person in a very certain place in your business to do well in a mastermind, which is why I think most people shouldn't join one. You need to be extremely active. You need to be committed. You need to be willing to show up and share. The reason being, masterminds are collaborative, not meant for one-on-one. It's meant to mastermind with people. There are masterminds with like 100 people. There's masterminds with 50 people. This is bigger than the online space. They've been around for longer than the online space, where you see these cute little leaders leading their little retreats and having their little meetups. Like, I remember the first time I heard of a mastermind, it was Lewis Howes. And I think Amanda Bucci joined his mastermind, but they were very high level thinkers, getting all these high level thinkers in a room. I think that's a true mastermind should be physically in person. You get a lot out of it that way. The other thing is there's massive time requirement with masterminds. They meet typically once a week for an hour or more, and you need to be able to commit to that, commit to showing up, to being collaborative, which can be extremely difficult and challenging when you are still building your business. Ultimately, everyone's needs are different. Most people join masterminds as a step down from the one-on-one support they really need. I'm going to repeat that because this is my last and final point. Most people join masterminds as a step down to the one-on-one support they truly need. Okay, you're probably thinking, Lauren, the one-on-one support, I can't afford it. Yes, you can. I'm going to tell you how. You ready? You guys ready? You can save tens of thousands of dollars by going to niche experts instead, in areas where you need help. What I do as a mentor, help you figure out where you need that help. Not to self-promote here, but that's kind of the point. As a mentor, I help guide you into a place where you really need that additional help and support. How do I do this in my business, or how have I done this in my business? I've hired a video marketing strategist. I've worked with her in like a one-off strategy session. A lot of professionals, niche professionals, can also act as consultants and provide you with consulting help or done-for-you help, as opposed to going to a space where you think you're going to think creatively or get all these new ideas, but then what do you do with those ideas? And then at the end of the day, you're left with all of these things you have to do on top of your client work, on top of building your business. You can work with a sales and innovation coach. I work with one. Her name's Jen at Neat Marketing. She helps me think outside of the box. The ideas are in me. She helps guide me there. She reminds me of what I'm good at, because we all know that sometimes we can get all stuck in our own head about what we're actually good at and who we can actually help and what kind of programs we can come up with, and we get inundated with everything else we see on social media of what other people in our field are doing that we forget like what we can do and how good we can be. So that's someone else I work with. I'm long-term looking to do strategy sessions for long-term marketing planning, course planning, Pinterest strategy. There are people out there who offer higher tickets things in this space that aren't a mastermind. I feel like you go into masterminds not really knowing what you're going to get. And while on one hand, that's really exciting because you know that like growth and change can happen. On the other hand, there are certain things that are going to push the needle forward faster, easier, more efficiently than joining a mastermind. In my opinion, that is going to niche experts. I want to put it this way. Would you rather feel you wasted $1,000 on 3 different experts or $10,000 on one mastermind program? Tell me, like, what do you think about that? That's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents on why I think you should join a mastermind. I'm going to go ahead and go through all those points again real quick, not in detail, but just outlining. And then for my live listeners, I will be taking some Q&A on why you shouldn't join a mastermind. Here to be open and honest. So number 1, you still have a lot to learn in business, about business and in general, as well as your own business. That's reason number 1 why you shouldn't join. Number 2, most masterminds are improperly formatted, which as a result, you need to do a lot of research, a lot of vetting. Number 3, you have to be a certain type of person in a very specific place in your business to join a mastermind. Did I say number 2? That was number 3. Number 4, you could save tens of thousands of dollars by going to niche experts instead, and this is actually what I advise over joining a mastermind. All right, guys. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the recorded side of this and flip over to Instagram to answer any live questions. If you are tuning into this after the fact on the podcast, I'm going to be doing live recordings on my Instagram at Brand Good Time every 4 to 6 weeks, answering questions at the end of podcasts of this style. And these podcast titles and topics are chosen by my Instagram followers. So that's your chance to kind of put your best foot forward in terms of what you want to hear and how you want me to help you in your business. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of She's Busy AF. And I will see you on the next episode. All right, guys, I've hit stop. And I guess I don't need this anymore.